Not too far from Anchorage are two towns that we visited after Valdez on our trip to Alaska, Whittier and Girdwood. Now, these are two towns that I never even thought of visiting, let alone knew about, before I started researching Alaska. And let me tell you, we had a blast here. So here's what you should know before you go to Whittier and Girdwood. To get to Girdwood from Anchorage, you have to go down the Turnagain Arm. The Turnagain Arm is a body of water that has a bunch of turnoffs along the way, and I highly recommend using them because you can see some pretty special things. The Turnagain Arm is home to the boar tide, and this is something that only happens in a select few places in the world. And the Turnagain Arm is one of them. It's a big tide that comes in that you can actually see. You can see a bunch of mudflats in the arm when the tide is away, and then as it comes in and fills up, you can literally see it being covered. It doesn't sound like much because it's water, but it was pretty cool. To know when the tide was coming, we talked to a park ranger who gave us this little cheat sheet about the tide. And she gave us some more information too, so make sure you talk to the park rangers. The more information was about beluga whales. Beluga whales are really cool and they're cute too. They come in after the tide. We couldn't see much of the beluga whales, but you could see their humps as they came up. It was really cool. And you could see their migration paths as they follow the tide in and then also the tide out. On the opposite side of the road, we also saw doll sheep. We climbed up just a little bit and we got to see a mom and a baby basically within arm's reach. We even saw the baby suckle on her mama's teat, which was something I would never expect to see. Not only that, but there was more sheep farther up as well. We saw a baby trying to follow their mama up, but fell. And it was scary, but the baby survived and was fine and just went right back to climbing up the mountain. Girdwood itself is a historic town. This is where we stayed to explore both Girdwood and Whittier, as there's not many places to stay in Whittier. In Girdwood, there's some good places to eat, hikes to do, and a ski resort. Girdwood actually has a lot to do in the winter with that ski resort, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because we went in August. The ski resort is open in the summer. People can take the ski lift up to the top to see a pretty good view of Anchorage, and possibly, if it's a good day out, you can see the mountain Denali. However, we didn't do this because visibility was really poor due to wildfires. But if you have good weather and good visibility, I really recommend doing it. We did one in Banff, and the view was spectacular. Not too far from Girdwood is the other town I want to talk about, Whittier. To get to Whittier, there's only one road you can take and a tunnel. This tunnel is only one way, so they have to open it up for each way at different times. So make sure you plan when you're going in and out of Whittier, because otherwise you could get stuck there since it's only open for specific ways at certain times. However, before you actually go into Whittier, there's still some fun things to do just outside. At the visitor center, there is a glacier tour that you can take, and also some hiking trails. We did the Portage Pass Trail, which led up to Portage Glacier. And there are a lot of little hikes to do along the road if you just find some turnoffs. That road is the Portage Glacier Road. What my family and I did is we just took some time to drive along this road, and if we saw something we wanted to do, we turned off and did the hike. And I really recommend doing this because it's a nice change of pace from the constant go, go, go you can get when you're on vacation. It's just relaxing and you kind of take what comes. In Whittier itself, we went kayaking with Aleyska Ski Kayakers. And let me tell you, it was hard work. This was the first time I've ever gone kayaking, and although I enjoyed every single minute of it, being in that weird position with your legs like a frog was not comfortable. Although this was so much fun and our guide was amazing. He was so knowledgeable about the area and about everything we were seeing. We got to kayak through a kittiwake rookery and see thousands of birds. It was amazing. This is something that you never would have gotten to see if you were on a motorboat because they would have been all scared off before you got close enough. We really got up close and personal with the kittiwakes. I even got pooped on right after I said,
I feel like I'm gonna get pooped on.
And I feel like because I said it, I got pooped on. But despite that, it was still amazing because the birds would fly right over you and all around you, and it was just a feeling like no other. I can't even describe it. We also got to get pretty close to some cute little sea otters who'd poke their head up and be like, "What are you doing?" and then go back down. It was adorable. We also got to see a salmon run, which was amazing because the salmon were right under you and you could practically touch them. Now, this was really cool, but also kind of disgusting because as we were in there in August, some of the salmon were starting to die off like they naturally do. But despite the grossness and the kind of sadness of to see all these dead salmon, it was also kind of cool because this is the circle of life and this is what the salmon live and die for. Obviously, there's still so many different things to do and see in Whittier and Girdwood because I can't cover them all. But these were just some of the things that my family did and that we really enjoyed. I've included links in the description of everything I talked about today to help you out when you're planning your trip to Whittier and Girdwood. And if you liked what you saw today, please hit that like button, consider subscribing, and enjoy your trip to Whittier and Girdwood.